6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
International superstar, Miss Butter B.
You are now tuned in to Butter B Rocker on Transparency Talks Podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Transparency Talks Podcast. I am your girl, Butterby Rocker. Listen, we have an amazing show for you today. But before I bring on my special guest, I just want to thank you guys so much for always rocking with your girl. Y'all know that our next BBR Indie Films is coming up on February 26th. We had to reschedule due to the weather and everything. And we cannot wait to see you all. This young man is also going to be one of the panelists. But let me tell you about all his accolades. He is an actor, a producer, an author, a speaker, as seen on the hit TV series, The Black Hamptons. Can you please show some love for Karon Joseph Riley? Hello, sir. How are you?
Peace and love, Queen. How you doing?
I am doing excellent. It is a pleasure to finally meet you and everything.
I know, right? Virtually, we still gotta share vibrational energy and actually get to see each other in person, which I think is important. But your energy pours through the screen, obviously. And again, we said this offline, but I want to say I'm proud of you, sister, of all that you've accomplished and what you are accomplishing. I see you. I salute you, and I'm honored to be a part of your journey, and I'm honored to be here with you.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. Um, Here at Transparency, we like to dive right on in. Can you tell everybody a little bit of background about yourself?
Yeah, born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. My African ancestry goes to Liberia and Sierra Leone. I think that's important to say and announce if you know it. My parents were both educators. I have been taught to dream and believe that whatever I dreamed was my reality to make mine as long as I worked and had faith. Um, I played professional football for 7 years. My first love was basketball, but I settled on football and ended up having a 7 year pro career behind that. Retired, married to the beautiful Terry J. Vaughn. We have three beautiful children. Well, grown man now. Dalen, he's 23. Our son's 16, and Lola is 10. I've been acting now 17 years. Just dropped my first book, Keep Pedaling, the things I learned on my bike and the wisdom to help you get through life. Yeah, I'm just here. I'm a creative, and I believe that my creativity is my purpose in the world to help my culture move forward in a positive way. So that's me in a nutshell. Mr. Keep Pedaling is in the building.
Mr. Keep Peddling in the building. So since we're already talking about Keep Peddling, let's start with that. How did you come up with your title for your book and what made you want to put out this book?
The title was easy because it's the brand, it's who I am, and the energy that I like to put into the world of just I am just like you. I just believe in myself without a shadow of a doubt, and I also believe that if I never stop that belief and the work ethic behind that belief, everything that I see in my visions can manifest. They have so far up until this point, and I really want it to be known that everybody can do the same exact thing. So I
Right,
want it to be the secret that's not a secret. So I
right.
want I want how I ended up in front of you. I wanted to keep pedaling to proceed that. Basically saying, man, this guy is somebody who believes he's gonna work and he's gonna work until he can't work anymore and move forward. I think the biggest crime in life is not only not dreaming and believing in your dreams. I think the bigger crime is when people give up on their
Mm,
dreams. You know, you see so many dreams die, and the graveyard is filled with thousands of dreams that never got fulfilled. Um, And I just don't want to be that guy. I don't want people that I meet and that I encounter in this world to be that. I want to leave you. If I meet you, I want to leave you with that belief in yourself. Like I want you to see yourself in me.
Yeah.
So the keep peddling thing was easy because that's what I wanted, right? So I came up with the book concept as it started as a men's book to be a man law book. Like
Mm.
I saw this book was 10 years starting 10 years ago.
Okay.
I started seeing a pandemic amongst our black men,
Yeah.
our young black men in particular, with the pants sagging and not having the ability to shake a man's hand properly, looking him in the eye. It was just things that I was starting to see that were problematic for our future as a culture.
Right.
So what can I do? I'm an actor, ex-football player. I'm not about to go to the state capitol, do none of that stuff because I don't believe in that system working for us anyway. So I said, what can I do with my influence? So I said, I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna give out as much game as I can to these men, and then it kind of turned into just an overall manifesto of my life. I was like, how can I
Mhm.
make this as personal as possible? Like I'm sitting there having a conversation with a young black brother or a young sister who didn't have a coach or a village like
Right.
I was blessed with. And I say that to say I'm not standing on anything but my ancestors and the people that sacrificed for me to be here. So I
Right.
feel like it's a responsibility for me to seek out and find people to give it all back to because I'm just borrowing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm borrowing from my ancestors' belief in me. So I want to give that out to everybody. So how could I do that in the broad spectrum? Write a book. So I wrote the book and with the intention of it reaching young black men that I can't physically get to, young black women that I can't physically get to, and really speak life into them and really talk to them myself. This is my love letter to you guys. This is my breadcrumb to you guys. This is my seed that I'm planting for future generations to enjoy the shade that I'll never get to enjoy. So
Right.
that's what the book was about, and the title I said it was part of the who I was. So
I love it. Now, this is your first book, right?
first book, first of many, I believe. I feel like I got about 3, 4 in me right now, just off top.
Yeah. Yeah. I wrote my first book about 3 years, 2 years now, and
Oh,
it was definitely a dream come true. But it was something that I finally felt like it was time for me to do. Well, you talked about something about the graveyard having the most gifts and people just giving up on their dreams and everything. I always believe if God can give you the dream in your mind, that's like a blueprint, and that's like the confirmation for me that says if you can see it then you can achieve it. And
absolutely.
yeah, and so I'm quick to I go after everything I want in life, like everything. Why
Yeah,
not? You have one life to live.
if it was shown to you, it was shown to you for a reason.
Yep.
No matter how it came to you in the vision, that vision is a preview. Ever went to the movies and saw a preview for a movie you wanted to see next year?
Yep.
That's what the dream is when or vision that comes into your system, and it's usually followed by something that makes you feel scared about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I tell people that's not fear that you're feeling. That's the God in you talking to your spirit, tickling you, saying, "Get moving." You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I always say that little butterfly feeling. I take that feeling, I start doing it. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
shit,
me too.
let me just start figuring some stuff out with this feeling, and I take that feeling and I go as far as it just takes me until now. Oh, this thing's starting to manifest. What's going on? Oh my God,
Yep.
I'm really an actor out here. Like this is crazy. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And
Right.
that's just what it is, man. I honor that, man. I think we but again it goes back, it's so much deeper than what we're sitting here talking about. It goes back to what's been poured into us,
Yep.
right? Again, I've been fortunate. I had a mother who spoke life into me every day.
My mother too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? She spoke life into us every day. So you understand, overstand, understand that power that you walk around with. You
Yep.
glow with it. You know what I'm saying? You have a different intention going on to the world. You know what I'm saying? You don't present as nowhere near a victim. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like no matter what the past ancestors, what we had to go through in the past, your present, you are standing here strong. And I see it. I see it in you. you're breaking those generational curses. You're doing the things necessary to push your culture internally and your family forward. So in
Right.
turn, you're doing what you're supposed to do for the culture.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I think that's what we got to do. We got to stop looking outside of ourselves for the answers. Fix
Mm-hmm.
yourself, and you fix yourself, you're going to liberate 10 or 20 people close to you. Those 10 or 20 people are going to do the same thing. That liberates 20 more. Next thing you know, 1,000 people have been liberated based on you liberating yourself first. So I'm
Yeah.
like in the book, the first letter of the book is K, knowledge, self-knowledge, knowledge of self. That is why I can stand on who I am, because I believe in who I am. I know who I am.
Yep.
And I'm constantly seeking for deeper levels of who I am. I'm never resting on the awareness that I have today. I'm always looking to go deeper. I'm always looking to feel more, always looking to be more open, more clear. Like I
Right.
believe it's a constant journey that we all have to be on. And again, it's like I got to hear my own mantra. Like I may be sharing, keep pedaling with the world, but it's really, I'm telling myself that every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like I'm putting in parameters around my life that I can't quit no matter how I feel.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I'm building a whole world of accountability.
Yep.
One day
Yep.
there'll be 1 million, 10 million people talking about keep pedaling. There's no way in the hell I can quit.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm
Mm-hmm.
making myself accountable to the planet that give it
Yeah.
to me. So I want you to be that. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to be that.
Yeah. Yeah. You going deep. One of the things that I noticed on your book is you did have the K dot E dot. So what are the acronyms? Okay, K is knowledge.
Right? K is knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
E is I think education, right? I gotta remember all of them in order. Um uh I got one right here. Let me look at it. Stop trying to cheat, Shell. Uh, so you got K is knowledge.
Okay.
E experience.
Mm.
Experience. The next E is evolve.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically like so experience mean um without the experience of life, you're not gonna really be able to basically get out of life what you came here to do. I believe
Right.
every spirit has come here with a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And through our life experiences, which I believe life happens for me and not to me,
Mm.
it's the mindset shift.
Yeah.
So I take everything, the good, the bad, the in between, as everything that I have to experience to reach my full potential as a human spirit on this experience. You see what
Exactly.
I'm saying? But you have to
Mm-hmm.
be willing to experience. You have to be open to the experience. You have to be clear about the experience and not let the experience traumatize. You gotta let the experience energize.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the difference between me and most some people I would say is when a negative hits me, I get more focused. I get more
Me too.
determined. Yeah,
Me
that's
too.
that's a personality trait that is needed. But you
Yeah.
have to be willing, but it's all about a mindset because if something bad is happening or something, we're not going to sit here and say, oh my God, why is this happening to me? And oh my God, I can't get anything right. No, we're like, okay, this is the lesson. Let's figure this thing out. Let's get through this thing
Right.
because we understand, overstand, understand that without dirt, you can't grow. There's nothing
Right.
on this planet that has ever got here without darkness.
Mm-hmm.
So embrace the darkness and you will be the light. You see what
I'm
I'm
trying to
saying?
tell you, you are preaching. Like you
I'm just
really
keeping
are
it, I'm
preaching.
just keeping it a buck. Every time I'm speaking, I want something to unlock somewhere in somebody
Mm-hmm.
because I've been a part of those moments in my life
Yeah.
where someone has said something and it took me to another level because
Right.
though that person was just being authentic to who they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, authenticity frees everybody.
Yeah. 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 Let me ask you a question. What do you want your legacy to be as an artist?
I use my talent for good. I
Mm-hmm.
use my talent for something that was bigger than me. Um,
But you're definitely doing that.
that's it. I'm not afraid to say when I do depart from this plane, I want it to be a noticeable footprint left.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do aspire to one day at least get a street named after me. You know what I'm saying? Do something for enough people and those type of things happen. So the goal is to do enough to free enough people to help enough people with what I do, which is is a creative. I'm a creative. I'm an artist in my heart. I believe we're all creatives because I believe it's our God power to create.
Right.
um, and our culture in particular. You know what I'm saying? I believe our culture in particular are the creators of the planet. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You have other cultures who are responsible for other parts of our life and existence on earth, because I do believe it's all connected and everybody has an actual role. Like I believe that the other side is necessary.
Hmm.
It's necessary for the balance. Again, you can't have light without dark. You can't. You
Right.
it's so without and nature, we can't. No matter how bad we're disrespecting nature and how bad the world is not being aware of nature, there's going to be a balance,
Hmm.
one way or the other. And what's happening with the world now is the balance is happening
Right.
because of the imbalance that is being poured into it. So even the balance is going to be rocky at best. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So that's just nature, and that's just us. So be in balance, and the things are going to balance itself out.
Okay. All right. So one of the things that you talked about, you was a pro athlete for
Mhm.
7 years. Um, what made you transition to acting?
I never wanted to be an athlete first. The first thing I wanted to be was an actor. The first vision I
Oh,
had for
wow.
my life was of an actor. It was
Okay.
first grade. It was in the first grade. I was playing Puss in Boots, and I remember the line I delivered, and my mother, my grandmother, I think my auntie was there as well, and it was a play. And
Hmm.
I said, my line was, "Not I," said the cat. And I remember my mom and them, they cheered so loud, so hard. My little spirit lit up so bright inside. I was like, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my. I'm gonna do this forever. And ever since then, I was always up, you know what I'm saying, doing the Michael Jackson. My mom would have me doing dances at the mall, and I just break down and do anything anywhere. If it was time to perform, it was never an issue for me to lock into something. And a lot of times I go somewhere else because I'm really a goofy, like really not locked in guy. But when it's time to go and perform, I can boom. It's like, let's
Right.
do it. So that's just been me, man. And yeah, that's it.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Um, all right, let's talk about the Black Hamptons. That's a really great show. Got a lot of twists to it.
Yep.
What drew you to your role?
First and foremost, I'm not gonna go all deep into what drew me. My friend Trey Haley, the
Okay.
producer, one of the producers and directors of the series,
Hmm.
called me and said he had a role that was basically he thought was perfect for me.
Okay.
And he came with the butt because he understood who I was as a man. He's
Hmm.
like, but he has a bisexual lifestyle. And I said, well, okay, let me ask you this question. I said, what is the sexuality in the story? Is it A, B, or C? He told me it was C story, which means it's basically dialogue, right?
Hmm.
In the C story, you never have to really go as deep, just to give the audience an example of different levels of storyline and how much is dedicated to a picture. If it's A story, let's just give you an example of that movie would be Brokeback Mountain.
Okay.
If it's C story, the example of that movie would be Philadelphia, where Denzel was playing the lawyer, and Antonio
Hmm.
Banderas and Antonio Banderas and Tom Hanks played lovers, and Tom Hanks had HIV/AIDS. But in that movie, there was never physical intimacy except for that hold hand. I think they might have made it B-C+ story. But at the
Right.
end of the day, it was mostly the dialogue, and it was more of you saw two men who loved each other, and it was never really anything totally past and plot unless you really was just all the way in like that in that moment. So
Right.
when you told me that was the storyline, I could do it. And as an actor, it was a challenge for me because of that. And also the character, other than that facet, really spoke to a lot of the things that I do love about just our culture when we're operating in that excellence, in that excellent space. And also the real historical thing that pulled me in was the Sag Harbor backstory of where the Black Hamptons take place, which is a real historical place in the Hamptons, where it's a
Right.
Black community that's really in the Hamptons, which I didn't even know about, and I call myself a history buff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
um, and so that totally drew me in. Carl Weber and N.D. Brown and the guys who produced it. Carl Weber, of course, created it. He really believes in uplifting the culture, which is it aligns with me as an actor.
Right.
Um, and I knew that the series would do no harm to us as a culture,
Yeah.
and it would actually give us something to look up to as a way, as opposed to what's been really being poured into our community right now.
Right.
Is the I love, now this is no knock, I love power. I
Hmm.
love I love what 50's done with that universe. I love, how it portrays the actors and all that, but I just think we need a balance. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I think we definitely need a counterbalance to everything, as I spoke
Yeah.
about balance earlier. And I just want us to have a balance, um, um, representational energy coming into our collective cultures,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I felt like that series, The Black Hamptons, um, it did that. I think
Yeah.
it was a great contrast to what's on, and it was good. It was just as good. It felt just as rich. The performances were amazing. The cast, man, I would, to this day, I would barter that cast up against any cast on
Yeah.
television.
I honestly, I thoroughly enjoy the Black Hamptons. I'm ready for it to come back out. I thought it was a great storyline. I saw your role, like you're an actor and you acted to the T. I didn't see anything disturbing from your role. I mean, you did your thing, and
Thank you.
so I really honestly like the whole thing. So
Yeah, it was dope, man. Hopefully, we'll get that call to get back and keep creating that world, because I know Carl Weber had an amazing vision for marrying the two series, his family business series with
yeah,
the Black Hamptons, where now we're going to actually start taking the legitimate Black money and starting to cross over into the not so legitimate Black money, and let those worlds collide. I think would have been
right,
a very dope thing to see, in the contrast on to see. And actually, the new series is starting. Shameless plug, just to support them. They got the new New Orleans
I
family
saw
business
that.
just dropped. So
Yeah,
anybody watching, y'all go ahead and tune in. I'm not on that one, unfortunately, but my brother David Banner's on there, and he's doing a great job. And y'all go get to see him like you haven't seen him in a long time. Be a really good bad guy.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what I do see all the time. Every
Yeah.
time I look, I love Christmas movies. You are
Ah,
the Christmas king,
yeah,
like
Mr.
for real, for
Christmas,
real. And
Mr.
that's one of the
Christmas.
things I've always wanted to be on is a Christmas film. And you got that down packed.
Yeah, I have been blessed to my career started kind of with the Christmas movies. That was kind of my first break. Being able to work with an amazing cast, Victoria and Greg and Brad and Belinda Williams. I'm like, this like the first series I actually did in the movies. I was like, oh my God, I am so blessed to be able to work with these kind of actors. And I mean, and that series is so endearing, the Marry Me for Christmas series, and along with shit, 10 other Christmas movies. But that's another nickname they give you, Mr. Christmas. I actually have a
Yes.
script. I actually have a script that I wrote with my partners, Dedicated Prophecy, Lim Collins and Marcus Monroe, and myself, called Mr. Christmas. And it plays up on me having all these Christmas movies. And as an actor, I
Right.
am mad about doing them. And I actually hate Christmas as an actor in that movie. And all I want to do is do this last Christmas movie,
Right.
get out of my contract with the studio so I can do action movies.
Right.
Because
Oh, that
my
sounds so good.
Right. But now this is the last Christmas movie. They're starting to do promo, and I get caught on the video feed telling the kid to get a life because he's trying to get an autograph. I'm like, dude, you too young to be, you too old to be believing in Santa Claus, and it gets caught on video. So now the
Right.
studio is threatening to make me stay in that contract, and I never not do the movie. So then I never get out of my contract, and I never get to do my action movies. So I have to get my Q score back up with the public, or they're gonna scrap my movie.
Right.
So it goes through a whole thing where a publicist comes in and tries to fix my image. We fall in love. She has a daughter. Daughter needs a kidney. I end up giving the daughter the kidney. I get the true meaning of Christmas, and Mr. Christmas is really back, and bam bam. So look forward for that. Look for that movie.
I'm really gonna look forward to that movie. When is that coming out?
I got to find the money for it. That's why I'm doing that on the interview, so people can start seeing how good of a script that is, and we can
That is a
shoot
good
that
script.
movie.
That is a
Yeah,
good script.
yeah.
Let's talk about your production company, Dedicated Prophecy Films.
It aligns. It's dedicated prophecy. Of course, my name means holder of prophecy, and my partner Lim Collins' name means dedicated soldier or something like that. But
Mhm.
we took both our meanings and put it together, and we were just two creatives, man, and we both feel like it's enough creatives in the world doing it just to be whatever, and it's time for some creatives to really still stay true to being a creative and actually having an intention with the creativity. Again, I believe that I want to use my creativity to uplift my culture.
Mhm.
So in order to really control that narrative and control that purpose, how else will I do that unless I start producing more of my own work?
Right.
I've done enough. I got over 80 credits now. I've worked and did enough for enough
Wow.
people to learn how to do for myself.
Hmm.
So um, I totally believe in self-empowering ourselves, and I totally
Yep.
believe in building something for yourself and your family. So that's what Dedicated Prophecy is. It's our film company. We've produced 4 or 5 projects already. We got a series on Tubi called The Bottom that we produced. I directed a couple episodes. We wrote all of them together. We produced that, got that on Tubi. We have 2 more movies on Tubi right now planned. Just got finished. 2 more Christmas movies, of course. Merry Switchmas and Christmas at the Frat House. Did you see those 2 yet?
I've been, what did you say? Mary what?
Merry Switchmas and Christmas at the Frat House. Go
I
watch
haven't
those.
seen
Go
it yet.
watch those on Tubi tonight. You're gonna love them. So when I see you on the panel, I'm gonna ask you,
I'm
did
gonna
you
see
see
him.
them?
I'm gonna watch him.
Because they're really good, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, they know what they doing. Like you're gonna be like, oh, this ain't no Tubi movie. This is really, really good. This movie could have lived on Amazon Prime, Apple, anywhere. We really did a
Right.
good job. The cast was amazing on both those movies. Again, it's about controlling the narrative, and
Yeah.
in order for me to accomplish the goals for myself as an actor, I have to take control of my narrative. I
Hmm.
can't assume somebody else is going to see my vision.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
to create the vision as I see it and build it as I see fit. You know, find the right partners, find the right village, and we create, you know, an amazing something amazing as a team together. And I know I've been finding the right people, and it's all about empowering ourselves and doing what's right without anybody saying no.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. um, you have an amazing wife. Like
I say,
amazing.
I should
Yeah.
receive
How is
that.
it that both of y'all both are doing some amazing things? What is that like being in such a great relationship and y'all both are supportive of each other's careers?
Um, I think again, I think it's growth. It's both of us doing the work within ourselves constantly
Mm-hmm.
to serve each other properly. Type,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I look at the longer you stay with somebody, if you're doing it right, you should have ego death.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, a lot of times the ego's not really necessary in most relationships if it's a good relationship. Um, so as you grow together, you start to have those ego deaths. So I think we've always had a root for each other mentality, but now it's even more so in a way because we don't have the ego within our marriage like we used to have maybe at earlier stages, just because as you grow together, you start to lose those egos. And I think for both, I can't speak for Terry, but for me, I just feel like there's an alignment, and that we've had at times that sometimes may get off of a bit sometime, but right now in this moment in time, we're really aligned, and things are just really flowing in a way that it's not really much effort. We just have to stay in alignment with ourselves first, and
Right.
everything is channeling themselves outside of that. Again, I implore people, what's inside will reflect on the outside. So this is just a nugget to give people. If you in any kind of situation and the outside world appears to be crazy and chaotic and not on point, fix the inside and
Mm-hmm.
everything will correct.
Okay. What do you see for your immediate future?
Abundance in whatever I can project into the world and whatever I can manifest and work towards. And yeah, abundance and abundance in whatever I can get going, get seen, and be done. It's hard to say without what's the media. I see so much,
Yeah.
Um, for me, if for me, when I can get the House of Ra done, it's a Black Superman movie. I didn't even give you that. I didn't even give you that nugget, but that one is the one I'm really focusing in my energy on getting manifested right now. Is the House of Ra. Black Superman movie it's really for the culture, and it's something that definitely is needed for us all to see, myself included. But
Right.
I believe it's a purpose movie, and it's an intentional movie. So I believe it's going to happen because it just has to. Um,
Now, are
but
you
so
looking
yeah,
for investors for that project?
absolutely, absolutely. Got a couple people looking at it now. Prayers up. Um, I'll say this to anybody who's listening, who has the ability to invest. It's a billion dollar play. Like
Right.
literally the turnaround with merchandise and all of the things that come with it. It's a billion-dollar play, and I've already mapped it out. Like it's all I need is a rich uncle or a rich granddad, and we out of here.
Right. Well, we got a couple of listeners that are some rich aunties and uncles and everything. So they
Well,
definitely need to get in contact with you and you send
definitely
them
get in
over the
contact.
information.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can sit down and we can talk and we can figure some things out. And I promise you on my children. This play, I see it as clear as I saw myself playing in the NFL. As clear as I saw myself being an actor. As clear as I am sitting here looking at this camera right now. I see it just like that. So
Right.
don't trust me, trust God.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, you are going to be one of the panelists on
Yeah.
at BBR Indie Films on February 26th. What are you looking to see from these independent filmmakers?
Ah man, I'm just always intrigued to be inspired, man. I'm an artist too. I'm looking for inspiration everywhere. Like
Right.
I'm constantly looking for inspiration. Everything I do is selfishly looking for inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Like I have random conversations with people at the grocery store looking for inspiration.
Right.
Um, again, I'm here to serve, but I'm also making sure that I serve what I need for me to be that guy. So I love it. I'm looking forward to the young, the youth, the energy, the creativity, the dialogue. What's gonna come out in the dialogue? What's it's a lot of stuff happening in the world. Ain't what's gonna really come out of this thing, right? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm always open and intrigued to a really good conversation. Like, I can do this all day.
Right. Right. What is some advice you would give to an aspiring filmmaker that's just getting started?
First, I would say go buy Karan's book, and you can pretty much, if you just kind of follow that book, everything that you want to do with anything in life, you will be able to get it done. But on top of that, I would train.
Mm,
I would really study the craft. I would start to become what I want to become before I become it.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't put the horse before the carriage. So that means go put the work in, go study. If you haven't, you don't have to go to Carnegie or Yale or what other one of the amazing film schools that you can go to, but you don't have to do all that. You don't have to make. You can go find a reputable, really good class coach, and just start training in the arts. When I was playing in the NFL, I was taking classes in my off seasons because I
Mm-hmm.
knew that sports was just a temporary thing in my life, and I always wanted to be an actor before I wanted to be an athlete. The athletics came along, and I just went with the flow of that as long as I could. It was still performing for me. Like
Right.
I played football like I was performing. Like I
Right.
had personalities and all sorts of shit. Like I just came be ahead of my time. Like if I'd have
Right.
came now, man, it'd have been great. But yeah, just see your vision, believe in it, and be prepared to work um really hard and be prepared to be scared a lot because this business is not for the faint of heart.
Mm,
um you have to be prepared for a long time of scraping and scrapping before it even looked like it's going to work, and that may be 10 years, it may be 15, it may be 20.
mm.
um you just have to understand we are doing something that is very subjective. Um, People say, Karan, you made it to the NFL and now you're a working actor like you like did. I say, yeah, but they're really, they say, which one was harder? I say becoming a working actor to me was harder than making to the NFL.
Right.
Making to the NFL, there's quantifiable things that help you get there. I could run a 4.5 40 at 255 pounds. I could do some amazing physical things. So that right there gives me a 50% edge on the rest of the competition.
Right.
In acting, um, it's not as linear as that. You have different things that intangibles that make it all come together, and um, it just takes a lot more time and a lot more dedication to it because you have to have the ability to just weather a lot more storms than you are going to have summers.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy your summers when you want one, and be able to weather your winters and with the same energy and discipline as you did with your summer. I think that would be my advice. Handle it with balance, handle it with faith, and keep pedaling.
I love it. So, how can people support you? How can people get your book? Is your book self-published or are you with the
No,
publishing
I'm
company?
with 13th and Joan, a Black woman's publishing company, of course. But you can find my books anywhere books are sold. But I always tell people if you want an autograph, signed copy, I usually put a little card in there with keep pedaling, just another note from myself that you can hold and keep. It's my personal energy that I give right to the person for directly paying it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the middleman out of there. Nipsey Hussle, rest his soul. All the entrepreneurs in the world, man. We all as Africans living in this continent, we got to really get back to our entrepreneurial mindset and
Yes.
start doing for us and for each other, as opposed to doing for others and not for each other. So,
Right.
KaronJosephRiley.com. It's easy. My website, www.KaronJosephRiley.com. You can order the book there. I'll mail it directly to you myself, sign it, give a personal note, or again, you can go to Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and all those other places. But if you're really for the people, you know where to go.
Well, I want to buy one of your books so I can get it from you at the event.
Perfect, and I'll bring it with you, signed, and autographed.
Okay.
Easy breezy.
Easy breezy. Well,
Easy
I want to
breezy.
take this time to thank you so much for coming on to Transparency Talks podcast. I have learned a lot. I know that my audience has learned a lot. Y'all have 2 films that he just told you about that he's looking for investors on. I have my homework on the 2 Christmas films that I will be watching.
Yep.
And
Everybody else go watch them too.
right. Definitely go watch the films.
Yep.
And honestly, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on here. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you.
Appreciate you, my sister. Appreciate you, and I will see you soon. And until
Yes, you
then,
will.
you already know what to do. Keep pedaling.
Okay. Well, to everybody out there, we are out of here and I'm going to talk to you guys later. So you stay on, but we're going to talk to you guys later. All right. Peace out, y'all.